Greetings of the day. In this video lecture for BCom 4th semester, we will continue with our unit, that is valuation of goodwill. In the earlier lectures, we have seen three different methods for calculation the value of goodwill. For example, first one was average adjusted profit method, second one was weighted average profit method, and third one was super profit method. Now we will see the last method for valuation of goodwill, that is capitalization of profit method. As when we were discussing the theoretical portion as well as formula for the same, we have said that capitalization of profit method can be subdivided into two parts. First one can be super profit capitalization method and second one can be average profit capitalization method. So in the question we are being asked to frame the solution for both the methods. The question says that there are two partners of which balance sheet for the year 1995 is provided with us. Along with that, there are certain adjustment which has been given with regarding to the valuation of assets. With same, we have been provided with the last 5 years of profit, and we are also been given the remuneration which is to be withdrawn by the partners at the end of the year in the year 1995. The question asks us to calculate value of goodwill using both methods. First of all, super profit capitalization method, and second one is average profit capitalization method. So first of all, we will see how the solution would be formed in this lecture. Then we will discuss which method should be followed or how we can use which is the easiest method to follow for the purpose of calculation of valuation of goodwill using capitalization method. The link of the question is attached in the description box of the video. Kindly click it to view the question. Solution would be seen in the lecture. So we will start with the super profit capitalization method. First of all, for that purpose we have to calculate average profit. The formula for average profit, what we have said, is equals to total profit divided by number of years. So for the purpose of calculation of total profit, we have been provided with 5 years of previous years of profit. So we will get it sum 15,000 plus 18,000 plus 27,000 plus 27,000, last one 33,000. So we will get our profit as 1,20,000, 1,20,000 divided by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 number of years, 1,20,000 divided by 5 will equals to 24,000. 24,000 would be our average profit, but along with this there are certain adjustments with regard to the average profit which are being provided into the latter part of question. So what we have done, we have deducted the amount of expenses which were not related with the what we can say operating business of the company. For example, depreciation of furniture was charged by the company, was charged by the firm, which we have not taken into consideration, hence we have deducted the same. Similarly, there was undervaluation of stock by rupees 3,000. We have added up. At the same time, there was a remuneration to the partners. Both partners have entitled to get remuneration by rupees 3,000 and rupees 2,000. That is in total rupees 5,000, which was again what we can say deducted by us. So 24,000 minus 2,000. 22,000 plus 3,000, 25,000 minus 5,000, that is our average profit or future maintainable profit would be rupees 20,000. This future maintainable profit would be required by us in the future in the further part of the question solution. So we will take it there. Now once we have get our average profit or future maintainable profit, now we can move towards the calculation of normal profit. The formula for calculation of the normal profit is average capital employed multiplied by normal rate of return. But how we can calculate average capital employed or capital employed? Then again we have formed the working note for the purpose of calculation of average capital employed. The formula we have said for calculation of average capital employed is tangible trading assets minus external liabilities. So what are our tangible trading assets? First one was land and building, 65,000. It is appreciated value. They have said that the value has been appreciated by rupees 15,000. Similarly for machine, the value was appreciated by rupees 8,000. That is 48,000. Then for furniture, 2,000 was the depreciation value, and we have taken it the exact value of 8,000. Similarly, stock was undervalued by rupees 3,000. Hence we have added it so that we can get an actual value, that is 20,000. Cash would recorded as it is in given in the balance sheet, that is 3,000. Hence our total would be 1,44,000 of our tangible trading assets. Apart from that, there are no fictitious assets, no investment or intangible assets in the balance sheet of the firm. Then we have to deduct external liabilities. With respect to external liabilities, first external liability is our creditors of rupees 30,000. Second one is bills payable of rupees 10,000, that is 40,000. 1,44,000 minus 30,000 minus 10,000 is equals to 1,04,000. This is how we have calculated our capital employed. As the question is of the firm, hence capital employed would be treated as average capital employed. The portion of this was discussed by us in the previous lecture. Hence 1,04,000. Normal rate of return given into the question is 10%. Therefore 1,04,000 multiplied by 10% is equals to 10,400 is our normal profit. 10,400 is our normal profit. Once we get our normal profit, we can easily calculate super profit. The formula for calculation of super profit is future maintainable profit minus normal profit. So our future maintainable profit we have calculated 20,000. Normal profit 10,400. 20,000 minus 10,400 is equals to 9,600. Then last method is valuation of last part is the valuation of goodwill for super profit capitalization method. In case of super profit capitalization method, if there is not been given in the question the number of year of purchase, then we have to use the normal rate of return as a parameter for calculation of value of goodwill. Therefore, valuation of goodwill is equals to annual super profit or super profit, that was 9,600 multiplied by 100 divided by normal rate 10%. Therefore, 9,600 into 100 divided by 10 is equals to rupees 96,000, which is our value of goodwill. 96,000 is our value of goodwill. This is how we can calculate value of goodwill using super profit method. Everything is near about same which we have done in case of what we can say super profit method is similar with the super profit capitalization method. Now moving to second method, that is average profit capitalization method, which is being asked in the question to form solution. So first thing we have to calculate is the average profit of future maintainable profit. We have already calculated it 20,000. I have taken directly, that is why 20,000 as our average profit, or we can even though say it as FMP, future maintainable profit. Second thing, we have to capitalize this profit. How? By using the formula average profit into 100 divided by normal rate of return. So average profit is 20,000 into 100 divided by normal rate of return given into the question is 10%. Therefore 20,000 into 100 divided by 10 would equals to rupees 2 lakh. Once we get capitalized value of goodwill, capitalized value of profit, we can now value the goodwill. The formula for valuation of goodwill would be different in case of average profit capitalization method. The formula is capitalized value of profit, that is rupees 2 lakh minus capital employed. How we can get our capital employed? The capital employed we have calculated here, rupees 1,04,000. That is why we can directly take it 1,04,000. So 2 lakh minus 1,04,000 is equals to 96,000, which is again value of goodwill. What we can see, both the values are equal. By either of the method we are going to calculate the value of goodwill, the answer would be same. Whether we use this method first or that method first, the answer would always be same. That means that we have a cross-checking mechanism here. If suppose the answer of a super profit capitalization method is 1 lakh and average profit capitalization method is 96,000, that means that there is some mistake in either of the method. So we can cross-check it and properly correct our solution. That is how we have to form the solution. Second thing, if question has asked to form the solution by either of the method, or if there is no specified method is given into the question, then it is up to us which method we are following. For the case of what we can say, if suppose I am using directly the average profit capitalization method, the thing is that I have to go for this portion, that would be the average profit. Then again we have to find out average capital employed also, because the formula has asked for average capital employed. Secondly, we are also requiring average profit or FMP. That is why these two parts are to be done. So if I am going to, if suppose there was the method of average profit capitalization method, firstly I have formed the solution. So I have to first of all calculate FMP, that is future maintenance profit or average profit. Second thing I would have calculated is capital employed, and later on I would capitalize the profit and then I can calculate the value of goodwill. If suppose I have utilized the method of super profit, in that case also first of all I have to calculate average profit or FMP, then normal profit. For the purpose of normal profit I have to calculate capital employed, then super profit, and then valuation of goodwill. So what we can see in both the methods, we have to do similar kind of things because it is a bit lengthy, but still we can see that the method of average capital employed, the method of average profit capitalization is a bit easy, as well as it is less lengthy as compared to super profit capitalization method. This is it for this lecture. From next lecture we will start with our unit number 4, that is the last unit, that is liquidation of company. Until then, stay tuned. Thank you.